So I'm Owen Sweeney from Erudite. So we help businesses to get ahead of the world on social media and video, and make sure that they get seen where they want to be seen by the customers who they want to be working with. So I've been working with Peter. We're just now 2 years. So just towards the end of the pandemic, I'd met Peter at a networking group we're involved with, and I felt we kind of clicked quite well. And being a proper good coach, he kind of pursued a conversation and wanted to add a bit of value around our business and see if he could, I suppose, bring something to it that would really help us at a time that we were, I suppose, in a bit of a crossroads, trying to work out, do we grow or do we kind of stay where we are? Yeah, we actually, because we couldn't really meet face to face, we actually ended up going for a walk. It was the only way to kind of have a conversation that wasn't on a screen. And so we went for a walk and had a chat. And at the end, I suppose we had a bit of a conversation around, is there a chance of kind of potentially working together, and what would that look like? I think the biggest learning that I've gained, and I mean, it's probably been bigger than just for my business, is that I need a coach in a lot of things in my life. So going to the gym, I need a coach to kind of give me a kick up there. And in my business, I need a coach. I think part of it's because I like to do a good job and like to work hard at something, but I don't always have either the vision or the drive of what's next. And I suppose I can plan if that's part of what's in a meeting or something like that, but it's not my default to kind of have this is where we're going. So to have somebody who will kind of create a bit of a structure around that, and then also provide some scaffolding to go along. How do we get that process, and how do we make sure we get the most out of it? And then the big thing really then is the accountability of somebody who's going to check in on that as we go along. How can we, what are the things we need to be doing? Who's a good person to speak to in a friendly kind of level, but actually it's more than that. It's somebody who's not willing to ask the hard questions, and not willing to give me a kick up the rear end when I need it, which is probably more often than I'd like. I suppose the big challenges that we probably overcome is whenever I started working with Peter, it was me and we had another guy working on the business a bit, but I was doing an awful lot of it. And I think having Peter there helped me to understand that I probably didn't have a business, but I had a job. And that, if I wasn't there, nothing, or at least a lot of the business would not continue to run, and definitely wouldn't be growing at all. So kind of Peter helped me to realize that, but not just to realize that and then be sitting feeling a bit disappointed, but actually to go, how do we turn this into a business? How do we, I suppose, extract myself from the everyday and all the things that I could outsource to a staff member, and make sure that, I suppose, it's a bit of a cliche, but that I was working on the business rather than in the business. And I suppose since then, at that stage it was myself and one other guy, so we're working from home. So we're now up to, there's 4 of us. Say we've got offices, and I feel I can go on holiday now. I might still bring my laptop, but there's a reasonably high chance I'll not open it. And we have a team with some processes and systems in place that allow me to not have to be on everything every day. So that's been a massive thing, and it allows me just to do the things that I said I find hard, which is to take a bit of time to think and plan and work out where we want to go and how we're going to get there, which before would not have happened because I was so head buried in the everyday of just doing the stuff. Peter's style has been exactly what I needed. It's been, I think we get on well. I think we click as friends outside of even, the business stuff. I think we get on well. But I've got plenty of friends, so that's not really what I need in a coach. So it's good to have somebody I click with, but also, as I mentioned a little earlier, the accountability's there. he's not afraid to ask the tough questions, and putting me in a position where I really need to be honest with myself, um, and in a way that's it's not making me feel vulnerable, but it's actually, it's quite empowering, because I think once you realize what your real challenges are and what the things you really need to do, you can then actually take the action to achieve what you need to do. I think as well, we found it that having somebody to journey along through the business has been really helpful, because there's days that aren't always so wonderful, and I don't really want to go home and offload those on to my wife at home, somebody who will listen to that. And then, but there's the thing that's really beneficial is there's always an end of the conversation where we draw a line in it and say, okay, what next? Okay, so that's happened, where are we going next? And it's great to have somebody whose mindset is positive, and that rubs off, I think, on me as well, to have that open-minded mindset of being positive, being where are we going next, and not dwelling on negative things or things in the past that we can't do anything about, but what are we doing to shape the future. So it's, I always come away with a bit of work to do. I've always come away quite excited about what I'm going to be doing, and also kind of, it's a bit of a tank filler. You feel inspired, encouraged, filled up when you leave a meeting with Peter. So that those things are really vital to have, I think, in a business. I would 100% refer Peter to another business owner. I think every business needs a Peter in their life, to be honest. It's somebody who's gonna come alongside you, who's got great insight into not businesses in your specific sector, but actually just how businesses run, how people work, and just brings I suppose a different mindset or different viewpoint into how you could be pushing your business forward. And one of the things that I love about Peter is, he celebrates my wins more than I probably do. He loves seeing, me, and I know that a few other guys he coaches, he loves seeing us do well. And that's what, brings him to life and gives him real energy. And that's fantastic to have somebody in your camp who, wants to see you succeed. Because I think, especially in Northern Ireland, people tend to be, like to see people not do so well. It's great to have somebody, who's come along, and he's he's an integral part of our team. He's not an external coach who comes in every now and again. He's actually part of our team, so it's great. 100% recommend him. I think if somebody's just starting out, or either deciding to have a coach, or has just started that process, I think trust the process is one of those things people would say. I definitely believe that there are the journey that you're going to go on is going to take a while, and sometimes there's a bit of a stripping back of the bad habits and the bad mindset of things that you have in your head that you've learned or mislearned. So I'd say, trust the process of, actually, here we're going on a journey, and sometimes you got to go back a little bit before you can go forward, and enjoy it. Find somebody, a coach who you kind of click with, who you get on with, who's, as I say, somebody who's going to be celebrating the wins with you. I think it's something that whenever I embarked into it, the plan was, we'll give it a year and see how it goes. And I say we're now just over 2 years into the process, and as our business has grown, I don't feel I can see how we'll outgrow Peter, because the value that he adds, or a coach will add to who's there for your business, will continue to grow with that. And there are continually more things that I'm learning and having to relearn along the way. So I say trust the process, find somebody who's going to be in it for the long run, and just enjoy the journey.